Hello, welcome back. Or just welcome if this is the first Paladin stream you're seeing. Hello, hello, welcome back. Or welcome for the first time if this is my audio keeps muting. I'm not sure what my issue is right now. There we go. Sound running, image running. All good? Anything, music too loud? Visuals too bad? Or is everything okay? So, I built an interior. No, that's the wrong. I blocked an interior. It's very, very blocky, but it's complete. Music is a step high, but doesn't overwhelm. I'll take it down in a second, okay? I'll have to cut back in a second anyways, because I also have... I did some animations too. I mean, for everyone who was here, you saw it earlier. We managed to animate the blast shields. We managed to find the blast shields hidden in the model and then animate them. And I also started to animate the doors and also the turret. But I can't really show that in this walking view because it just overwhelms my machine. So I'm going to just show you the turret moving in a second. And then we can head inside and have another look. Oh, and what I also did is, you notice there's one door here. It's open right now. But on the other side, the door's gone because there isn't a door on the other side. Thank you. It's gone. So even though I thought there might be a door on this side that is kind of hidden or something, that I still think it would be a good idea. But someone pointed out that there's a much better quality image in the PDF brochure, and you can see that there isn't one, at least right now. Anyway, let's get out. Have a look at the turret for a second. you go. Unfortunately, I didn't change the height from the floor, so right now it's stuck in the bottom a bit. Oh, well, actually, I think it's also possible that you can't, or that it automatically slides to the top if you're landing, because otherwise this thing would be quite high and would need quite a stepladder on the side. Anyway, there's your moving turret, and here are the blast shields for anyone who hasn't seen it earlier. Not sure about the top part, if this is moving too. Could be that it's only the sides, even though I think that they won't make a big difference. So I would slide the front forward like this a bit too. I think that makes more sense. And then also there's no part in it for this window. I think they should also close. And on the bottom, what I also found out, what I thought is weird is... No, that's maybe not the best view to show that. You can see it from here. There's a big window here, smaller window here, and then on the bottom there's just metal. But when you look at it from the inside, you can see that this lower part here, the metal plate I'm pointing at, also appears to be a window if you look at it from the inside. So maybe it was a window in development and they took it out, or maybe it's going to be a window at some point, but right now there is something window-like here too. And also on the image where you see the two pilots on top of each other, or the four pilots, it looks like this is glass too, but right now it's metal. Yeah, I also think that it's going to slide up whenever you're going to land. Okay, one last look. And then we're going to head inside. No, actually I want to see it once more. I think it's kinda cool if you just see it popping up here. Kinda menacing, isn't it? Okay. And now I'm going to switch back to the interior view. Fat Scorpius. Fair enough. Alrighty, let's head inside. Oh, actually, I didn't really try it in this expo hall scene. It could be that it's completely dark in there or completely overlit. I don't know. Oh, or completely flickery. That's also an option. That's not good. No, let me just turn off the flickery bits. Okay, no shadows, no lighting, but at least it's not flickering. So, this is your entrance tunnel. And the first of many, many, many steps. this is the room that is probably... oh yeah, it has the lockers here, the suit lockers, and probably all the... It's not described as a full armory, but well, wherever you have your ground stuff. Next you have the bigger, what is that called in English? Well, that room where you go in different directions. This here, I think there's nothing depicted there. To the front, there's just a corridor. And then here is another dead end, which also has space. Like, you could put something nice here. Then you see a lot of stuff sticking through the walls like this. There's the exterior that is not cleaned up. Don't worry about that. But this is where the ladder would be to the upper floor. And then, we talked about this a lot earlier. So this is the stairs, and you have to go down and then back up again. That's super weird. And then you're in the gunner position, and as you can see, this is incredibly dirty because the interior of the whole of your model is so dirty. But window, 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 window. And then on the top, there's no ceiling or anything. You can just see the top pilot and co-pilot there and shout at them. Let's go back. Go back up. And then we are in our nice white habitation. No, it's not, I wouldn't call it a habitation space, but it has the, not even a kitchen. It has a dining table in this corner here, for, yeah, probably 4 people. On the opposite side, there is something. This shouldn't be empty, I shouldn't be able to walk here. There's like a big, I don't really know what it is. To me, if you look at the image, it looks like ammunition for the gun on top, but something that goes to the outside. This small thing here is the crew toilet. This is quite spacious actually. And then, now let's go to the front first because we already seen that. This is the ladder down again. And then it's pretty much the exact same layout as on the floor below. Both have this weird dip here. And then this is the top position. The view is not that good from inside here because, yeah, these shaders are not built to look pretty. So those are the missiles next to the stairs. Really? Are you sure there are like, I don't know, 30 or 40 in there? We'll have a look at that in a second. This has been, yeah, we discussed it earlier. There's one panel here, which I didn't model yet, but in the image there's a panel shown here that has yellow triangles on it. And it could very well be a lift, but since you're asking cargo lift, I don't think it will be a cargo lift. I think it was confirmed that this has 0 SCU. So if there's a lift here, then it's just for ground access, but even that I'm not really sure if it's going to have that. You're only going to use this for small box deliveries when it comes to transporting stuff. Maybe you can cram in like a pulse, but this is not designed for SCU boxes. But I still think that the like ground elevator at that position here would be really helpful. And since we're on it, actually, I want this elevator here to go to the ground floor and then another one here going to the top outside. But that's less likely. Okay, we've seen the front. Now let's head to the... This is the widest open space, obviously. In the back we have this room that looks like it has a door here, but it is really just... I mean, I don't know that, but I assume it's really just component access. Maybe one of those bigger components, shields or hyperdrive. There's no room for a door here on the outside. There's the railing for the turret on the opposite side of this wall, so I'm pretty sure that this is not going to open. And then next to it is more component access on both sides. But yep, the same people that speculated that this might be a door, speculated it's for cargo, and this room is really a lot smaller than you would think. In the image it looks like it could be quite a nice cargo hold, but standing in here, it's foot. I mean, it could fit maybe like 2 boxes front to back and maybe 3 left to right, but it really is not that big. It's a lot smaller than it looks like on the concept image. They could easily extend the ladder up to the ceiling and through the floor. Yeah, I would love that. I want top access, like on the Corsair. That's an amazing, important feature. CG is so slow that you are making the ship for them. I'm not making them for them. They will make it better and prettier, but I'll make it faster. I was hoping it was an ammo feed system for the big gun, but that would require a lot of speculation that they are going Matrix type reload our ballistics. The top room, I felt like it's engineering. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think we'll have a look at the concept image in a second. To me, that looks like a feeding system for the top gun, and I think at some point they talked about arming ballistic weapons. And yeah, I want Matrix style gameplay where you have like boxes with ammunition and you have to put it into this system, into this into that thing that I'm going to show in a second, and that basically is like a belt on a machine gun, just times 10 in size, and then it takes up the ammunition to the turret. That would be nice, and would also make ballistic guns more usable. And also keep it kind of balanced, because if you play by yourself you can't have the full advantage, because someone needs to reload it, or you have to run back, reload, and then you have more ammunition. Elevator to the roof with the minigun on top to give ground troops cover. No, that's, I mean, that would take away the usefulness of the Valkyrie, right? I guess that's their department. I think they want to keep a role for both of them. Okay, and then there's 2 rooms that we haven't looked at. That's the crew quarters, obviously. They are mirrored, which is cool. It's weird layout-wise, we talked about that, but as you can see, more stairs. I don't know what is going to be here. We can look at the image in a second. There's a couch in this corner here, where you can sit. I haven't put it here. Then you have your 2 bunk beds. And in this big corner there is, where the indentation is here, there's a... It looks like a desk to me. Like there's some folders with paperwork. I think there's going to be a desk on the top, and then underneath there's some space to put stuff, and also like a seat that's coming out for you to sit. But I really like this room. It's, first of all, the crew habitation is always the room that interests me most, because it sets it apart from most other space games, because I mean, I like the feeling of living on that ship, and this one in particular, I like the different height, the different elevations. That, I don't know, makes it really an interesting layout. There's so many little I don't know the words for that, the English words. It's not a boxy room, it is very like interestingly shaped and has a lot of little places where you can do stuff and hide stuff and put stuff. And the cool thing about this being mirrored, and it is not only, it's not mirrored like the ship just on this one axis, oh no. It is mirrored on 2 axes, so oh no, that's actually bad. Oh, I didn't think that through. Okay, so this is mirrored on 2 axes. So it is mirrored along the ship, as you would expect. And then also the beds are not on this side, as it is on the other one, but here. Which makes it the very exact same room layout. I was thinking because it's mirrored, it feels like a different room, but now it feels exactly the same. So I see absolutely no point in having them face different directions. It would be much cooler if they feel a bit different, and there's also a lot of space lost because these two are not the same orientation. That's weird. But still, I think I'm going to really like these habitation rooms here. I see this ship working well with the Polaris. I don't think it will fit into the Polaris. I haven't measured the final pad, but this is 53 meters. I don't think it's going to fit into a Polaris. Crew quarters feel huge. I agree. Yep, it's way too spacious if it is a pure like combat ship. This probably is also meant for patrolling sectors for like a longer time frame where you have to live on that ship for a few weeks. Sure looks like the size 4 missile racks. I'll have a look at that in a second, yeah. The door's a bit like the Terrapin door. I hope it's on the side like that. It's kind of blends with it. Yeah, also the plating next to it looks similar to the Terrapin. There are these big armor plate box thingies. Top turret is described as a relentless hail of laser fire. It is, but it said something like by default it is equipped with whatever lasers they are. I think you can change them. I don't think they are bespoke. Here, these things look similar to the Terrapin. If this build is built for patrolling, it would be cool with a Perseus in a patrol. Sure. Like, it's little patrol brothers. But yeah, now that I said that, actually, it doesn't feel like a ship that patrols an area for a long time. Because, I mean, the habitation is huge, but there is no kitchen or anything. No refrigerator. No, but there's quite a lot. I mean, going back to yesterday, it is not the ship I expected or wanted, really. I wanted something bigger, but still I quite like it. I think the layout is super interesting. And there's two features I like. One is the view here from the cockpit with the 4 people on top of each other. That's super fun. And then also all these stairs. Yes, they are stupid. And they are also a bit annoying, but it also makes this layout very interesting. It looks less, yeah, QB. It's straightforward. It doesn't really help with the space efficiency, but it's not too bad. But I agree that the crew layouts are kind of huge for what it is. It has small fuel reserves. I haven't looked at it at all. Well, then... I mean, also you don't usually have a gunship for... I mean, you could. I mean, maybe the crew quarters are just huge because it's cool. Okay, I'm going to head out for just 1 second. Go back to the editor so we can have a look at some more detailed stuff. I want to use it as a whaler to hunt sandworms. I think you can't. Or at least... I forgot what they said. There was something about... there was something about flying ships that... was it the size or something? They said there are certain things that... make the sandworms flee, because, I don't know, it would be hard if people could just attack those sandworms with a Polaris or something. So there's something about the ship size that will make them flee. But maybe, I mean, this could be the perfect size that is still acceptable for sandworm hunting. Okay, let's have a look at the missile launchers. So what we talked about earlier is this right here in the middle. That could be torpedoes, but it would be a lot of them, or like rockets. And also, I mean, then it would just be for looking nice. It would be much cooler if that would be the ammunition for the turret. Where does it shoot the rockets from? Yeah, it's lasers by default, but that doesn't mean that you can't exchange them. Okay, but then again, it wouldn't make sense to have them ship with lasers and then be the first ship to have belt-fed ballistics. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just the missiles, but it would be cool to have a place to refeed the ballistic guns. Yeah, right, the missiles are under the wings. Also, how many missiles does it have? It should be in the documentation somewhere. Because that on the image is 7? No. Okay, that can't be. That can't be. That this is at least like 20, maybe 30 of them. Maybe it's just decoration, we don't know. I'll put it in the Q&A thread on Spectrum, maybe they answered in the Q&A. Oh yeah, I had this up when I talked about them. Here are the missiles. I wasn't sure if it's all of them. Someone said they come out on the top, but I don't see where... I mean, there could be space, but I think this in the middle is something else. And someone said there's no cargo space for ballistics. I would expect... I mean, we don't know, we know nothing about that, but I would expect if ballistic ammunition is like a thing that you would have to reload at some point, I would think it comes in these small delivery boxes that we have right now, that you can hold with your hands. And that means you can put it on every ship. There's enough space for a lot of these boxes on this one too. I don't know though, that's all made up. The steps in both cockpit sections are a bit weird, absolutely. Can't help but think those won't make it through to flight ready. Yeah, that is a possibility. Let's look at that. I know this is not going to be the best view, but where's my upstairs stuff? There. Okay, here you can see how the two weird corridors look from the outside where they are. There is really enough space on top. You can't really see much here. That's even worse. Maybe this helps. Okay, so this is the layout from the side, and I don't know, I speculated that maybe they had to do this dip here to have enough space on the top for the door or something. But as you can see, there's plenty of space on the top here, unless there's some important components here. We speculated that this big thing on the head here is something important, maybe shield generator or some external component that you have to shoot out, and then it would maybe need some more space here, but again, we don't know that. I think this dip is weird, but I also think it's kinda interesting from the inside. How are you? Yes, this is the HoloViewer model. It is just textured by me, and the interior is completely built by me. On the lower floor, directly under the toilet, there appears to be a door down a hall to the right side of the ship that ostensibly has nothing. I guess you're talking about... this place here, right? So, oops. These are the stairs. Staircase, and then next to it you have this. This is what you're talking about, right? I don't think there's anything. I can take you on a tour in a second. On a full tour. I'm going to switch back to another view because that's prettier. Let's just solve that. I'm going to switch back to the image there. That's the wrong one. This one here. I don't think that is a door. There would be space for a door, and initially I said and thought that this could be a door, and then there's like a hidden passageway to have another door on the other side, just to have a secondary entrance or exit. But I don't think there's going to be anything there. I don't know though. Okay, are we done with the model for now? Then actually, I'm going back to the expo hall in 2 minutes for people that are new, and we'll walk around and into the interior again. Just one more thing, since we're in this view right now. This is what I said earlier about the space wasted by the crew habitation. As you can see, this is pretty well used because there's this area with the dining hall. But on the opposite side, I mean, there's the lift, but there's still like a good meter in there, and then on the other side there's a lot more space. So you could make the rooms even bigger, even if you don't need that. And since they are not just mirrored on one axis, there's this whole area here that we definitely know is free and available because it's used on this side. And I'm going to mirror this room just to show you why I would prefer that. So if we do it like this, you would have this room, and then going back, this room, because it is now mirrored, feels very different just because it is not just rotated but a mirrored layout. That would make the two stand out a bit from each other. It's no additional work for them, but I think it would be better than what we have right now. Yeah, you're right. You also have more space for a kitchen in the middle, and the back of the ship feels safer to sleep. I mean, if you're in here, you don't really know where you are, but I agree with you that it should have some cargo space for players who want to do some of that, but I think in universe it doesn't make a ton of sense to have a cargo room in here. Actually, I'm going to do the full tour in here because the lighting is much better in this scene than in the other. let me just try to hide some stuff. Okay, so for the people that are new and didn't get the tour, let's do that again. No, actually I have to read up for a second. Okay, everyone has opinions on the cargo space. I understand that. So entrance. This is the room that potentially has the most space for cargo and the most use for cargo, but as of right now there's suit locker. No, I'm not sure if it's suit lockers, but at least player inventory stuff on this wall where you can exchange your gear. There's something here, but I forgot what it is. Probably component access. Then in here, nothing on this side. Another dead end here. Dead end here. Here you have your ladder up to the second floor. And your lower entrance to the cockpit. And going up, we have the most spacious crew toilet ever. Your dining area. The crew quarters we just looked at. Oh, again, it's so much better with the mirrored room. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. So, crew quarters. Not sure what is on this wall. There's a sofa, or at least some place to sit on this corner. There's 2 beds here, and then here in the middle there's a desk with some paperwork shown, and then below there's something, some items that you can store there, and then it looks like there's a chair that folds out. And then there's one big room that is also probably where all your engineering and component stuff is going to happen. This is probably not a door, but also a big component. And going forward, we have the same layout as downstairs. Here's your ladder. And here is the cockpit and co-pilot seat. And here you can look down on the other 2 gunners. And drop down if you want to. Components are upstairs. I expect components to be mostly in this room. Like one giant here, and then I think there's two spaces depicted on each side with like normal sized ones. No, there's three turrets, yeah, but pilot seat, co-pilot seat, and then 2 gunner seats. And the pilot can control the secondary weapons too if he wants to, but I think this would give all 3 other members control of one of the guns. Oh, yeah, someone earlier asked if I can get the... what's the other one called? The small one. The hacking ship, what is it called again? I can't find it if I don't know the name. Legionnaire, yes, thank you. I have the Legionnaire here somewhere. No, not the Herald, that's not a hacking ship, that's a data running ship, I think, mostly. While the Legionnaire is meant to hack and then board. Maybe the Herald is hacking too, but it's definitely not boarding. It's hacking and then get away as soon as you can. As fast as you can. Yeah, yeah, maybe hack to steal data, but not hack to infiltrate. That's what I'm saying. Where is it? There, Anvil Paladin. Oh, it's tiny. It's really tiny in comparison. It's also a lot more detailed. Why is this so much more detailed than this one here? Wow, this is such a good model. Like, for all of your model. This is almost... I mean, this is pretty much the level of detail when it comes to just the surfaces that a final model has, so maybe this is... I don't know if it has always been like that or if they updated it at some point, but it's... This looks much further along than, well, this one. They did start the production. I think it was meant to come out, well, until the end of this year, so it definitely was in production at some point, but usually they don't exchange the HoloViewer models, even if something is in the works. Maybe the HoloViewer model always was this good, but well, it is good. I think this is the lowest resolution HoloViewer model I've seen in quite a while. Hello, Cosmic Turtle. That's a nice name. I don't expect the Paladin in 2025. Me neither. because it was not on the silhouette display. I expect those are the next... I mean, they said it's not all of them that they are working on until next year and throughout next year, but still, I would have expected this to be on the silhouette view if it was going to be starting production now. I could see them moving the suit lockers, the rear wall. I mean, they don't even have to move them. There's enough space actually. You could just... I mean, there's also space for suit lockers on the opposite side. So you could easily put 2 here. And then 2 on each side of this, and then have another door in the middle. But that would be symmetrical again, and not as fun, so I would much prefer if they just put a door here. And then on the outside, make another small walkway around this here. And then have the second entrance here. Because, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of unused space on this side. It really doesn't have to be this big. The interior could fit in like almost half this, no, not half. Could be a third smaller and still fit the interior. Maybe they will take advantage of the space below the stairs, making it storage. I mean, they could, but again, what for? There's no entrance big enough for big SCU boxes. I mean, a small storage for small boxes underneath the stairs would be cool and useful, I agree. Or even maybe later for ammunition boxes or something. The Paladin has in theory the Spirit Zeus slot. No? The Paladin has in theory the Spirit Zeus slot. What do you mean by slot? Stairway kitchen. You want a kitchen under the stairway? You could also have a 5th crew quarter underneath the stairway. Like a Harry Potter bedroom. Yeah, I'm happy about the size. I don't need it to be smaller. I'm just saying there's a lot of space that could be used for other stuff. Okay, slot-wise, size-wise. Isn't the Spirit a bit smaller? Do you have the Redeemer model? No, please do Harry Potter references in here. We're allowed to mix franchises. Do I have the Redeemer model? Let me check. I don't, but I can quickly get it for you. I guess it would make sense to compare to the Redeemer, right? Let me just grab the Redeemer model too. Is it weird to have want tiny winglets on the Legionnaires so it looks like a baby Valkyrie? I think it's kind of good that it looks a bit chunkier. Then again, the Valkyrie is pretty chunky itself. I think you'll get your winglets. I think this is right now just the lowered level of detail for the Holovio model. I think it will be a lot... It will have, like... These wings are just shapeless right now. I think they are going to be a lot... There will be more winglets, probably. No, you're not derailing things. I guess comparing it to the Redeemer is really useful. Can you show the spot the ladder leads to on the hull? Yeah, I can do that in just a second. If it's possible to make a hatch there. Yeah, you're talking about the top, right? The top axis or like bottom. Top mainly. I'm going to have a look in just a second. Okay, the Redeemer takes a few seconds to convert. Let's have a look at the top elevator where that would come out. This is the top elevator. So if we would extend that to have a ladder for roof access, it would come out somewhere. Around here. Not the best position, to be honest. There's the big plate on top and then also this grill, so might be a bit tricky. But I mean, the ladder could be like angled a tiny bit. This place feels perfect. But that is right above the door. There's some sort of sliding panel on the right side. Yeah, I mean, there's also enough space in here to make like... No, it's not. Never mind. There's not enough space to have another little place in here to climb out, but... I don't see them at a roof access, but I would like it. The Redeemer takes some time. Redeemer will take another few minutes, I don't know why. It's so slow right now. The beds, I don't think the beds are escape pods. Is that written somewhere that it has escape pods? Just because they are in very terrible spaces to eject. Yeah, look how far that is from any surface. Can't go to the side, there's the wing. I don't think the beds are escape pods on this one. I agree, it should have escape pods somewhere. It could also be that what we thought is suit lockers on the base floor in this room could also be escape pods. I don't know. Could be 4 escape pods here, and then have suit lockers still on the opposite side. There's enough space. Or the cockpit is the escape pod, because that absolutely looks like it could just drop out. Like the escape pod room on the top is also not very likely, I think. Because again, it is under and behind this railing, and it looks really engineering wise, I think it would be really hard to break up this whole railing just to have an escape pod come through. This is too small to be escape pods in the middle, so I think if the okay, we have the same problem on the bottom. Hey Tristas, yes, I've been busy. I try to get this as quickly as possible. So escape pods would be pretty much hard to do on the bottom, back and top. So I think also not here because there's this big plating. I think the best thing for an escape pod would just be the cockpit. Like on the caterpillar. Like imagine you're fighting and you're losing. And then you just drop out this whole piece here. The yeet chair. Yeah. Are the yeet chairs on the Intrepid working? They aren't, are they? No, we just talked about the beds. The beds, I don't think that the beds will be the escape pods just because they are... Let me show you. Here, these are the beds, these 2 blocks here on the side, and they are very far from any wall that they can eject from. On the side there's the wing in the way, on the top you have this big armor plate, on the bottom there's another floor beneath. I don't think the beds will be escape pods on this one. Oh no, at this point I can't follow the chat anymore. That I've never had that problem. Sorry. Hey Trist, I leave for 7 hours and you are still streaming. No, I'm not. I'm streaming again. I took a few hours off and modeled the interior because I can't focus while streaming apparently. And then also I did manage to see some sun and do some moving. So I didn't stream for 7 hours straight, no. CG seems to like turning well. Go. People torpedo. Yeah, I think the cockpit is the perfect escape pod. It's working! The eject button on the Intrepid is working. Oh, I'm going to have to try that out. The cockpit makes the most sense anyways. They may have pulled the drag on this one. I have to say the Intrepid is one of my favorite ships too. Even though it's ugly as fuck. The exterior is kind of hideous, but on some angles it looks amazing, and I already thought about making a video how you could change the exterior shape to be pretty. I think there is a way to make it pretty, but obviously I didn't have the time, and also I don't think they will change it. I think there's a reason why it is looking like it is. But I think the interior of the Intrepid is incredible for a starter ship. It feels nice, it has enough space, I like the new cargo elevators. I love the interior. It's, apart from it maybe being too weak or something, I love it. Also, if you saw there was a teaser for the Black Friday skin on the third episode of the IAE show, where you could see a few frames of the Black Intrepid, and I was expecting that to be like a bomber variant, because usually all Crusader ships have at least 2 or maybe even 3 variants, and the black one is always the bomber variant. So I expected that to be like a Intrepid bomber, and then maybe also an Intrepid. I don't know, I can't think of a better third option. It's not going to be a personal transport Intrepid. There's a mount for something on the nose, and the cargo pods feel like they were meant to be modular. Can you compare the size of the Paladin to the Carrack? I heard a lot of people saying they were the same size on Reddit. They are absolutely not the same size. There were rumors about them being the same size before, and we expected and wanted it to be as big as the Carrack, but this is so much smaller than the Carrack. I can compare it for you. I think, yeah, I have the Carrack mod. I have the in-game model here actually, the high-res full. That might take a few seconds to load up, but yeah, we can compare that in a second. I still have trouble keeping up with the chat. Intrepid Hacker. Like a super small Mercury Star Runner. Like a super small hacker and then data runner. That would be cool. And also fit the family. Okay, let's get the Carrack in here just to make sure. I can promise you it's not even close to the same size. Anvil Carrack. Where are you? Carrack. I just called it Carrack, not... Oh no, I don't have that. I can get the Carrack in, but it will take a few minutes. Okay, I have to convert that. But I'll definitely do that. That could also very well melt my computer and the stream. But let's hope it doesn't. Someone who has a really good video of the Perseus with interior. Yeah, someone said that yesterday. Can you tell me or link me to the video of the Perseus interior? I would love to see that and then also decide if it even makes sense for me to build a Perseus interior at some point. I have planned to do the Perseus interior, but I have not started yet. And also, I'm pretty much decided that I'm going to do the ironclad before I do the Perseus, just because I want to have some less RSI and some more Dirty Drake. It's not a big issue to pull up the Carrack, but it would be so much fun. In the meantime, we can get the Redeemer in. That is done now. Oh, sorry guys, I have to... There's so much going on in the chat. Astrochronics has a good video of the Perseus. Oh, does he? Okay. I didn't know that. Can't wait to see the Ironclad. Yeah, the Ironclad is so interesting. I was going to make a poll and see if there's more hype for the Ironclad or the Perseus, but after I finished the Galaxy, for now I decided for myself that I can't do another RSI ship for like the next half year. Also, I think there's quite a chance that the Perseus will be at next Invictus. Not flight ready, but same as the Polaris, maybe it's flying around. Yeah, Perseus. I think Invictus Week is possible. IAE, I'm certain. Ironclad or 600 I rework. We know that the Ironclad is in production right now. I don't know if the 600 I rework is currently. I think they feel that they know that they nailed something with the Ironclad that so many people wanted. So I think they have to put that on top of a lot of things. Okay, here's your Redeemer. Most of it is just cargo grid, yeah, but it's also so big. There's still so much interior. Like, especially these holding cells. They are pretty interesting. Oh, the Redeemer looks so incredibly sleek next to that. That's a pretty one. But as you can see, it's so narrow. That's why the interior is so cramped if you compare the two. I mean, you could say that it's only twice as big if you look at it like this. It's the same length, maybe twice as wide, even less than twice as wide, but the space that is actually usable for interior is maybe 4 times the size, or maybe even 5 times. Now it looks a lot more space efficient than it actually is, like compared to this one. Okay, I got the Carrack up. I have to do a little bit of cleanup and then we can get the Carrack in here. Apologies if it has been asked before, is StarFab currently usable? It gets stuck on processing data core. No, it's not usable. No, well, it's partially usable. All the 4.0 stuff is not working, but processing data core should not be an issue. I have not tried the update from yesterday or 2 days ago that brought in the new Anvil chips, but I used it last week and it was working fine. Daniel B has a concept. You have a concept that you did and that you want to give to CIG. I mean, if it's nice, then definitely try. But I feel like after the Redeemer, they will never do that again. Because even though it turned out quite good, they had double the work they would have if they did it themselves. So I think they learned their lesson, unfortunately, because this has the best history you can imagine. I don't know if everyone knows that, probably most people know, but the Redeemer is designed by community people. They had a massive show where like similar to a casting show, where they had like 10 different teams of people building ships, and then round after round they voted people out, and then at the end they had one winning team that would design a ship to be in game, and that was the Redeemer. And even though they built the whole thing with interior and everything, it then took CIG years to implement it, and basically they rebuilt the whole thing. Because obviously their pipeline changed, and it is also incredibly heavy to have people from outside build stuff for your bespoke game engine. Still, it's a great story. I think it would be so cool if I had a ship that is in the game. And honestly, yeah, I'm all for unique ship designs, but it is not easy in the development team, and Law and Brand. Yeah. Even though I really like the Redeemer, I don't think it perfectly fits the other ships in its manufacturing line. I think there's too many features that make it super unique, and I mean, it's cool that it's unique, but also on some places it looks like it could be from a different franchise, which, I mean, heads up to the designers. They did an amazing job, but I think it helps to have like one giant team looking over all the concepts. That makes everything fit together perfectly. Is there a place to find the updated version of StarFab? No, it gets updated every few months. There is only the GitHub page that is the latest version. It's the Planet Express ship with big guns, not exactly a grand feat of imagination. So you're saying the Redeemer is similar to a design of something else that I don't know? I also always thought that these things here on the exterior, they are meant for something apparently. Some, I don't know what they said, some repulsion system or I don't know. But that doesn't really make sense to have this part of the flyability of this ship, and no other ship is using that technology. And also it completely looks to me like the exterior of the Nebuchadnezzar from Matrix. So yeah, this little area here that is very unique to the Redeemer, it always makes me feel that it would fit into the Matrix lore too, if you like take away the rest of the ship and just like focus on this area. According to the back in the day, in the Kickstarter days, they said that they wanted to have people build stuff, but that was another of those dreams he had that are just not feasible. I mean, back in the day, those people had the CryEngine at home and could basically try and build the stuff, but now they have changed that so much that there's no way people at home can do something for their game in their engine. And I don't think they will ever release the Star Engine to, or like open the Star Engine in the way the CryEngine is open to modders and stuff. You're saying these are maneuvering thrusters? That's big maneuvering thrusters, I don't think so. I'm not sure, but from what I have in my mind, these don't there's no opening, like it's something else. Shield emitters. Ah, okay. That's more what it looks like. Yeah, but then it really doesn't make sense to have the shield emitters so exposed and so what is it called? Be such a standout feature on this ship, and then no other ship in the whole universe has this technology. It is cool, but more Anvil ships, more Aegis ships need that to make sense. That's just one of the things why I think you can feel that someone else developed it, but it's still a pretty amazing job. Yeah, in the background happened what I expected to happen. The Carrack froze. I don't think it can handle two of these scenes at the same time. Or maybe it will be done in like 20 minutes. The Carrack has so many interior objects. Maybe that just takes a few minutes. Actually, since we're not really doing anything, I'm going to go back to the expo hall because it's prettier. Might be a good idea to create a version of the Carrack with no interior for ship comparisons. Usually I have that. Usually the ships that I work with more often, I have them prepared and ready to go, but right now I never did for the Carrack because I usually compare smaller ships. And here we are back in the expo hall. And this is still the Galaxy, and one person pointed out that it's the 53 logo and not the 54, and I'm sorry about that, but I couldn't find the images of this year in the files. I have it on the top there. And also on the banners, but I couldn't find the ship panel thingies. You know, I still can't decide if I want the Paladin or not. In that case, I would probably just wait a while. The main door on this one. There's only one door, and it's this one. I said there's another one on the other side, but that is gone because it's not shown on the other images. Yeah, but when it comes to buying, I don't know, please don't make buying decisions based on my representation of the interior. I usually would just wait. I don't think the price will increase that much. There might be a better and cooler dropship by the time this releases. I myself haven't really bought any ships. I'm still flying my base Aurora that I bought years ago. I didn't even buy the Galaxy because I thought it could take years till anything like that comes out. Any way to calculate how many gun rakes may be in that suit locker area? I mean, that would be a lot of guessing. There's space for 20, but I'm sure it won't be more than 4. How many do you want, or why? I mean, if you give me a reason to check it, I can, but guessing is fun. I mean, there's different gun rakes in different ships. If they make tiny ones, you can have like 50 different pistols in there, or 20 assault rifles. But I guess I think it's more like, I think it's 4 suit lockers for complete outfits, and then maybe those 4 gun racks on the opposite side. The comment there with the... I'm sorry, I don't know which kind of Asian symbols they are. I can differentiate some of them, but I'm not sure which one these are. You made this amazing... I didn't make it, I just made the interior. I made the interior and I textured the outside, but it is the HoloVR model. I didn't do it. Also, if you can tell me what kind of Asian symbols those are, I would be interested to know. And what I just said is, I think 4 suit lockers here, and then gun racks on this side maybe. But speculation. Looks like a mashup from Valkyrie, Vanguard, and Scorpius. And Redeemer. do we think you can blow off those rear twin tails? You mean like damage-wise, shoot them off? I think right now you can't, but if Maelstrom is what they say it is, you can pretty much shoot off anything in the future. I think we don't really know enough about that, but I think Maelstrom is one of those things that I only believe when I see it. But basically they talk about it like it's completely physicalized and you can shoot off whatever you want and basically cut ships in half if you have the firepower to do it. I don't see that happening. I know I saw the demonstrations and it looks pretty good, but I don't know. I see it when it is in game. I believe it when it is in game. Put Nutcracker on this and call it a misguided calibration. Yeah. Carpathan, I installed StarHub 4.0, 4.9. If StarHub isn't working, the only thing that sometimes helps is reinstalling .NET on the latest version. That helped for me, even though I thought I had the latest one. And that's pretty much it. Back in the days, there were other things that you had to install, like the you had to manually put in the exporters, I think. But nowadays it should be fine. Maybe just try the .NET install, reinstall. But I mean, StarHub is pretty small, so I had, on my last computer it was just simply not working. I couldn't get it to work, and then I reinstalled my Windows, reinstalled StarHub, and it was working fine. It's just tricky sometimes to get it working. I mean, shooting off these things would be a lot of metal you would have to go through. Probably missed it, but has anyone figured out what back room on the upper deck? What do you mean by figured out? You mean what it's for? So I believe that this is the component room. Crew quarters? No, I think he's talking about the back room, like from the top layout. So the crew quarters are both on the sides, just mirrored. And I think he's talking about the ship, like in the room in the back of the ship. So this one here. And I think this is the component access room. Like components here, components there, and then something big here in the back. The thing that looks like a door. There could also be components on the lower floor, but there's, I guess, it's mostly for suit lockers and stuff like that. I think it's just a component room. It's another thing for that Q&A that we should ask them about, but I'm pretty sure it's just components. But I mean, it looks like a door for me too. I also wouldn't know. This is big enough for like a capital class component, even not maybe not completely, but there's space for a component that is oversized for this ship. Maybe it has an oversized. No, we know about the shields. It has tiny shields, right? There could be something big here. It's not mirrored, it's rotated if you're talking about the crew quarters on each side. Mirrored would have all the beds. Yep, I talked about that earlier too. It is not mirrored, and I'm sorry that it is not mirrored. It looked better mirrored. I'm sorry, I know that the volume isn't very loud. We had that problem earlier. I don't know how to fix it right now, unfortunately. Windows is not detecting my microphone as a microphone, I think, and it is at max. I don't think it's a door. The big turret rails are right behind. Yep. I didn't say it this time, but there's rails right behind what we think is a door. I'll definitely try to fix the audio for next time, but right now I can't do anything about it. I don't know if you've been here earlier, who just asked about the crew quarters. I did flip it and just to see how that feels different, and I think it's a lot cooler if the rooms are actually mirrored, because it feels like two different rooms and not the same room on the opposite side. And also this takes a lot more space than, yeah, having them mirrored, so I don't know why they did that, why they rotated it. It looks like a TV above that back area. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I thought about that too. Let me open up that image. I don't know what this is. This screen in the back room there. For an engineering terminal, it's too high up. What kind of screen would you want on the top there? I really don't know. I mean, we now have these working cameras that in the Polaris are in the holding cells, I think. So maybe it's a camera, but I don't really know for what purpose. Yeah, maybe it's just diagnostic data for the engineering gameplay. Some information about component status and stuff. I mean, you would have that on your terminal too, but maybe this is just like, just so you can just have a glance into the room and already see the information without actually accessing the terminal. Do you feel like the ship is missing something? Something about it seems a bit bare bones to me. It has guns and some missiles. I guess the same is true for fighters and the Hammerhead. But almost every other ship has something else in it that is interesting. Cargo, brick, medical, drones, hacking, scanner, industrial. I think it is interesting. I think it has... I broke it. Oh no, I broke it. I think it has an interesting layout, for sure. It has a lot of interesting steps and stairs. I mean, yeah, you're right. It does not bring any new features that we haven't seen before. It has blast shields. Not many ships have that, but it's also not new. This room is kind of unique. I think the cockpit situation is unique with the two seats on top of each other, but again, nothing really gameplay wise. But honestly, there's nothing I think that feels like missing with this thing. They said it's going to be a gunship, and I mean, it is. I think the habitation is quite big and quite nice. I said earlier that I really like the room layout because of all the interesting angles and little nooks and elevation differences. So it is a nice ship. I think it is a nice interior compared to other ships, especially like the Redeemer, for example. I mean, the Redeemer has a very cool interior, but it's very small. Trauma station. No, the trauma station would be... I'm pretty sure if it had a trauma station, then it would be on the info sheet. I'm sure this isn't a full plan for the ship. I'm betting it will be added to and adjusted as it goes to the pipeline. Well... I mean, usually these concept things are pretty accurate. There's always exceptions, but most of the time they don't completely change it in the pipeline. I always wanted to do some videos where I compare these early speculations that I do compared to the final product, but so far it's only the Spirit series that came out where I had an early look, and that was very accurate. They didn't change basically anything except for maybe the E1, but we don't know that either. Walking around without running into others does require some extra space. Looks like it's designed with restocking, reloading the weapons. Yeah, we talked about that. That could be the one feature, but then again we thought it might not be as likely because apparently it's been shipped with laser guns, and so having it shipped with laser guns and then be the reloading of ammunition be the main feature doesn't really add up. Does it have a turret room? The turrets are controlled by, like the side turrets can be controlled by the pilot here, or by the co-pilot, and then there's 2 more seats downstairs, and so you have basically 3 people using the 3 turrets, but there's no dedicated room, they are all remote. See the Zeus as a perfect example. Okay, yeah, right. There are exceptions. There are, yeah, definitely are exceptions. I just noticed that I felt like something was missing. I mean, to me, honestly, there's half of the ship missing. I was expecting like a big Carrack-sized gunship, but I'm over it at this point. I think for what it is, it's pretty cool. Polaris Interior is the only one that changed with the XO room and bunks. The only one that changed? No, we just learned that the Zeus changed too. I feel like they could do more with the central interior area of the ship. Just don't know what. Yeah, me neither. And I mean, there's also space in here to add another 3 rooms at least, but there really isn't a use. It doesn't need to be bigger. I mean, right now I think the layout is pretty decent. Maybe actually I would put a second bathroom. Just 1 bathroom for 4 people seems... I mean, it's enough, but what if you're on a mission and then 1 clogs or breaks? I would have 2 on a ship this size. Do you think that is an armory in room at the end behind the door? Do you think that is an armory in the room at the end behind the door? If you're talking, I think there's an armory at the base floor, this one, not a full armory, but I think here are the suit lockers and gun racks. If you're talking about the top floor this here, I don't think an armory would make sense up here. I think the armory would make more sense on the bottom, next to the door. I mean, then again, maybe it would make sense to have it right next to your crew quarters, so you could gear up if people try to board your ship. I don't know. But I still would expect it to be on the bottom floor. I think... Okay, you're talking about the bottom floor. So you're just asking if behind this door there might be something... Could be like even more stuff behind all these panels. if you look at the pictures, it has a door and shelves. Let me have a look. I mean, it could be anything really. Yeah, it could be a blast door and then like super hidden and super secured weapon racks. Could also be anything else. We need to enhance it more. Yeah, it could be anything. But I mean, you can see from the outline here that there definitely is something there. Where's the kitchen? There is no kitchen on this thing. On this floor there's no kitchen. Upstairs is only the seating. And this looks to be foldable. But I don't see a kitchen in this thing. Even though, again, there is space. You could at least put a small kitchenette here. Like maybe opposed the... I know that you can't see the mouse, but there's this bathroom here, and then opposing this, there's this angled wall. There could just be a small kitchenette here. The kitchen is next to seating on the wall. Also, you're talking about the wall that we can't see, like on the next to the crew quarters, like in between seating and crew quarters. Might be that there's a small kitchenette, but then it is in the middle of the walkway, and I think it would make more sense to have that. There's space for a dedicated kitchenette in the corner there. Will you turn this into a video? I don't know. I planned in the beginning to do a full video with a full interior, but at this point I'm not sure if it is worth the effort or if I should just put my time and effort into the ironclad at this point. Not sure. I definitely know that I'm not going to do it in the next few days as I planned. I have been pretty much working on these ships for the last 2 weeks non-stop, so I have to get some spaceship rest. Between bridge and seating. Also, you're saying the kitchenette is on that angled wall there. That could be, but again, then it would be in the space that you walk through. If you just make it, if you just make that side as big as on the other side where the toilet is, there would be a small nook. That section in the back room on the wall, it's the jump drive. Are you just saying that, or do you have any confirmation for that? Zoom in on it, it's a jump quantum drive. Lol. I will. I have zoomed in on it and I can't make out anything. I mean, this could be any other component too. Enhance. I can enhance it more, but I don't think we're going to see any detail there. Could be any component really. And this here, it has a 2 on it, so I don't think there will be 2 jump drives, right? I wish the Guardian showed up this past week. I guess it will be sometime before Christmas. Could be a snow cone machine for a while. Luminalia Guardian. Well, they said 4.0 Guardian. Are we thinking that 4.0 is going to hit live before Christmas? Oh, he said Alpha 4.0 Guardian. No, wait. Yeah. The Guardian might have less shields than the Vanguard, but it looks pretty fast. And pretty maneuverable. And it has a very cool 80s soundtrack. I like the Vanguard, but it doesn't have the 80s soundtrack. I listened to that video, like I just started it yesterday to get some more snippet out for the distorted images, the teasers there, and you just hear it for 1 second and it's stuck in your head. It might be one of the more memorable commercial tracks they ever did. Actually, I want to hear it now. I'm sorry. We have to listen to that for a second. Oh, it's episode 203. Oops.
Amazing.
Love it. Your music occasionally drowns out your voice. Are you talking about that we just heard? That was on purpose. We usually have quiet music like this. We just wanted to hear that track. If this music still drowns my voice, then please let me know. No, I'm not playing any more soundtracks now. I can do that later, but I know for sure that this is not going to be copyright striked, so any other music I would be careful. Talking about IE, I really loved the IE show. This was even cooler than the normal Inside Star Citizen. I was missing Jax, but then this last episode was so cool to see him actually be there, and so cool that they have more plans with him. I think he is one of the best parts of IAE. Yeah. What else to say about this thing? Can you get in? Oh, did you just join us? Yes, I can get in. I did build the interior. Also, the last tour was about an hour ago, so for all the people that have been here longer, I'm sorry. I guess I have to do a tour about once an hour. Let me just stop the shading. Okay, here we go. Interior tour. I'll do a quick tour this time because we did it a few times. One door, the other door is removed. Then you have your first room with suit lockers. 4 suit lockers on this side. And then probably armory and stuff here too. Big open space with the stairs upstairs. And then also a small staircase going a little down. And then this is a dead end for now. We think that this could be used for something, but right now it's nothing. It's just a dead end. This is the ladder going to the upper floor. And this is the cockpit for the 2 gunner seats on the bottom. And on the top floor, we have a very roomy bathroom. In this area there's there's a dining table and 2 benches, and we just thought about that this angled wall might be a little kitchenette, or at least like a cooler and some microwaves or something, even though I said that there's really no use to make it this angled if there's so much space on the opposite side of the ships. Because you have to know that this ship is completely symmetrical, so if I'm standing in the middle, there's the same amount of space in that direction and in that direction. Oh, and I'm saying not only the ship is symmetrical, but the this corridor is in the absolute center of the ship. So there should be room behind this wall to do something. And then going further back, I didn't put any doors. There will be a door here, and then this is the, we think this is the component room with some components here labeled 1 and 2, so something it has 2 of, and then in the back something big, and then here more components. The internal doors, I just didn't add them in this model. There will be internal doors for sure. And then we have 2 sets of crew quarters. Actually, the other one is better. Well, the rooms are the same, but the other room has parts from the outside clipping through, so I'm just showing this one. Nice elevation differences, a lot of little nooks with... you can put stuff here. There's a desk in between here that I didn't model in. There's a bench here. And 2 beds. So yeah, very much space compared to other ships. This is one of the rooms that feels bigger than I expected, and then the room in the back here feels smaller. I thought, looking at the image the first time, I thought this could also have like a cargo grid or something, but it's definitely a lot smaller if you stand in here. And same goes for the bottom floor, that's also smaller than it looks like on the image. The reversed orientation of the starboard crew quarters is very wasteful of space. Absolutely, I talked about that myself, and I also I did swap it in a version an hour ago and made it actually mirrored, and not only does it save space, it also looks cooler because right now these rooms feel exactly the same layout wise. It is the same room, and if you stand in the room without looking at the door, you don't even know where the front of the ship is. So I think having these rooms completely mirrored would better for orientation, and it would also be better because then these rooms feel different. Because it's mirrored, it feels like a different room layout, even though it's the same, basically just mirrored. And yeah, we we talked a lot about that it's weird that you have to go down here and then go back up. Yeah, I don't really know why they did that. I think it's because it's interesting, but there's no reason I could think of. We did... why is it stuttering? Why is it flipped upside down? We did think earlier, this is... Am I on the top floor now? Yep. We did think that that is built so that there's more space on the top floor here for the door to have space on the top, but there's a lot of space behind that. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why the layout is so weird here. Let me switch this for just a second. Switch the view. Here you can have a look at the moving parts. So there's the moving turrets on the rails. And then here are the moving blast shields. It would also make sense for them to reverse the direction of the central stairs to allow crew to run down from the crew quarters instead of running around the railings and then down to main turrets. That is a very good point. The way it is facing right now, it makes sense for when you enter the ship. It feels more inviting with the stairs this way, and also you can go up faster. Well, think about it this way. If you enter the ship from the exterior, you can reach the cockpit faster, how it is right now, but you're right, you could reach the guns faster from the crew quarters if you reverse the stairs. Hard to say what is more important. Put a fireman's pole next to the stairs. I mean, that's what the ladder is for, right? You can always use the ladder. But, I mean, I guess I could run up the stairs faster than the ladder. Oh no, we're talking about down. I think sliding down the ladder is the fastest way. So maybe it makes sense to have the stair this way, so when you're outside and you're under fire, it's more important to go to the cockpit as fast as possible. This ship needs to have some cargo space. Only a couple of 2 SCU crates would be perfect. I know you're talking about this for like a few hours now. I agree, but I don't think it's necessary in a military ship. It would be cool, but they would have to add another door. Not everyone is good at sliding down ladders. I think Marines need to be. I don't know, but I think that's part of the training. Maybe that's just for Marines in movies, but I think the crew of this kind of ship needs to train getting down the ladders quickly. Sliding down is not the problem, it's getting up at speed. Yeah, but there's no reason to get up the ladder when you have to be fast. If you need to go to the cockpit fast, you can use the stairs. So maybe the layout makes sense the way it is. I think I really like the ship, but just what I said, if it had one more cool thing that makes it a bit unique, it would be immediately sold. You're welcome. I feel like I'm just underwhelmed because I expected this big, the big Carrack-sized one. Maybe that was the one feature that's missing now in your head. But yeah, I have to say I had quite some fun doing this quick and this early. I usually do the more quality tours in video form, and I'm still going to do that for a lot of ships, but it was fun showing this to all of you live and as fast as I did. I don't know who was here, but I had this basically online and half an hour after the ship was on the website, and then we textured it on stream for like 45 minutes, and then we had this view like a good hour after it was released. And then I built the interior today. So I guess I'm going to do that in the future too for big ships. Not instead of the ship tours that I usually do. I still want to do those pretty ones. But it really helped me. I mean, there are a lot of things that I oversee or that I don't get, and there was a lot of input from you that would make this tour much better than the Galaxy one, for example. There were so many things that I didn't notice myself, even though I looked at it for hours and hours and hours. But it's just, you get into some kind of tunnel vision when you look at the same concept sheets for weeks, and this really helps me make that even better, maybe. So whenever there's another concept ship in the future, have a look if I'm already up. I'm probably trying to get this out as early as possible next time too, just because it was fun. Not for everyone, but for IAE and Invictus, I'm surely going to plan in more time next time to do this even faster. Another 2 weeks, you'd have the interior looking fabulous. Maybe, but I'm not sure if this is going to get the full pretty treatment. I think I'm going to improve it a bit and then move on to something bigger, more interesting. More dirty, more Drakey. I'm pursuing a degree in multimedia, so something like this could be an option later on. Oh, sorry. Trist, not to derail things, but do you mind me asking your system specs? And then I'm pursuing a degree in multimedia, so something like I don't have an incredible system. I have a 3950 AMD CPU, so that's a 12 core, but not a super recent one. And I have a 3070 and 32 gigs of RAM. So definitely not high-end hardware. If you want to go into anything like that, you don't need high-end hardware. I have the most high-end hardware at work, and whenever I build a computer for myself, I'm thinking about needing all that stuff too, but then I figure that I just don't need it. You just have to learn how to work efficient anyways, and having the best hardware usually just make you work sloppy. And so just get something mid-range and you can do anything with that if you work cleanly. And the only thing that I had trouble with hardware-wise ever was the Galaxy scene that you saw in the Galaxy video intro, because I had lights all up in the scene here. Every single light that you see here is an actual light source. Right now it's not. This is just baked light. And then all these were also lights, and that with the complete Galaxy interior and exterior and everything, that was too much for the GPU memory that I have on my 3070, so I had to use a different machine to render it. I can work with it, but to render it I need something bigger. Well, actually, I mean, okay, yeah, I don't need super high-end hardware because I have access to 12 high-end machines for rendering that are not my own, that I can use whenever I want. That's another reason why I don't need it at home. But I would always buy mid-range PC parts and then make sure my PC is not as loud. That's more important to me than having 4090. But I see a lot of people wanting to get into the industry or something and thinking that they require extreme hardware, and you don't. You just have to work a little bit cleaner than people with high-end hardware, and that's super important anyways. You should see my ship, lol. She's a big one. 2 years and she's almost finished. I've given her the name Goliath. Send it to me, if you haven't already. On Discord, maybe. What environment are you running that in now? What do you mean by what environment are you running that in now? Like this room here, or do you use a render cluster? Game engine. Oh, that environment. Sorry, this is Blender. This is just in Blender. I don't use a render cluster. I just I have a classroom where I teach, and I can use that classroom to render. So it's not a dedicated render cluster, but it's 16 3090s. I see I have a bit to learn about Blender. My Discord is the same as the channel name, Tristan. Just do you teach at? Yes, I do teach at university. Not 3D art, but something kinda similarish. So that's why I don't have. That's why I have it kinda easy to learn Blender and all that stuff, because I do something similar for work, and I teach something similar. Oh, and also I have to mention, I don't have that render power always. This was the first video where I used those machines. Everything else I just rendered at home and on my 3070. Every single video so far I did on my 3070, and if something renders a little longer, then I just render it overnight, and that's fine. I think rendering is always, especially nowadays, you always want to have it rendered fast, but usually you can just wait 2 or 3 days and just... Your students hopefully don't annoy you during YouTube. My students don't know about this, I think. Or are you talking about they annoy me while I'm rendering at their working machines? No, I usually do that in the evening when no one's there. At which I'm not going to tell you at which university. Sorry about that. At a university. Did you ever meet Sylvan? No. Who is Sylvan again? I know it's CIG, but... You want to be a student? I mean... tell me which continent you live in, and then we can talk about that later. Belgium. I mean, that's not too far. Sylvan is engine dev on CG. No, I didn't meet him. I mean, I saw and I don't want to say meet, but I talked to a few CIG people at CitizenCon, but I don't remember all of them by name, to be honest. Hey Kurjin, if you don't find my Discord, I mean, it definitely is the same as the oh, did you find me? I have something pending here. I just I didn't look at it right now. If you really don't find my Discord, I mean, you're on Patreon, right? Just send me a message there and I'm going to send it over to you. But it should be the very same name as on YouTube. You have so many different names though. I remember that we talked about your name on Patreon back in the day. Back in the day, like a few weeks ago. Is that no? I don't have my own Discord server right now. Maybe I'll do one in the future, but right now I didn't see the point really. I think he wanted to send me some private. Someone wanted to send me pictures of his ship. I don't have my own Discord server so far. I have one for the students, but I'm trying not to mix that up. I have different Discords for work and for students. For work and for students, and then for this. Well, but we're getting off topic, and I guess we talked about everything this little ship has to talk about. I was preparing to build a full capital-sized ship in this one day, and then walk around that the whole day on stream. It's a shame it's only that small, and I'm already done. Wow. This is cool, right? I mean, it's stuck in the floor. We talked about it earlier that probably you won't be able to land when the thing is down, or it automatically goes up whenever you want to land. But it looks so cool sliding around. I'd kinda like to play around with that model and learn from it. Didn't have any images of landing gear. No, I didn't see any images of landing gear, that's why I didn't add anything. Kujin, what model are you talking about? And what do you want to learn from it? I can't really share the exterior, obviously. There's kind of a rule in the community that we can't give around ship models. CIG is kinda okay with us getting stuff and doing fan art with it, but we can't share it. So everyone unfortunately has to do that by himself. But I can share the interior with you if that's what you're interested in. But that's why I'm asking, because there's nothing really in this interior that you could learn from. It's terrible. Terribly dirty modeled. Also, I think I'm going to add these to the interior, the galaxy scene that I did, the scene where you can walk around the galaxy for yourself. I'm going to make a scene for this one too, so people can just walk around for themselves. It took me months to set up the galaxy scene, but now I can reuse the most system and all of that. The animations? I mean, the animations, you can see me do it on the live stream live. It's 4 keyframes. It's really not much work. Especially for, I mean, I could have made a complex animation here for the rail to actually follow some kind of spline and make it really clean and nice. It's just 5 keyframes animating it, so it kind of fits. Are you almost ready with modeling the outside of the ship? I didn't model the outside at all. This is the HoloViewer model. This is the official HoloViewer model. I just textured it and put some materials on, and I didn't add anything really. I just took out the blast shields that were hidden inside somewhere. Yeah, and I was planning to add some detail from the finished Valkyrie to make it look prettier, but right now this I didn't build the exterior. Seamless textures. There's nothing seamless on this model. The texture is actually seamless, but the HoloViewer models don't have UV layouts, and so I just did a super quick automatic UV layout for this whole thing, and that's why it looks so patched and weird in some areas. Unfortunately, the HoloViewer model comes with nothing but the geometry. No textures, no UVs, not even material IDs or groups or something. It's one giant piece of geometry and nothing else. This is going to be a cool shot when it comes back. Wow, that's cool. So was all the one mesh that you had to split up when you first grabbed it? Yes, it was one single. Well, kind of depends on what you define as mesh. It was one object, and so not all connected, like not one super clean mesh, but like different parts stuck into each other, but as stored as one single object. You can still pretty easily take out individual objects in Blender if they are isolated from other objects. But yeah, it was one mesh. Like, I mean, let me just show you. Not grouped, no. Grouped would be something you do in whatever software you use. So I have split up parts of it now, but why can't I go into edit mode? Oh, this is a linked file, so I can go back to the editor in a second. I mean, actually, why am I talking? Let me just show you how it came. When I first got it. It comes at 100% scale. So this is how it comes. And now, depending on you work with OBJ files. Oh, that's what you're asking. Yeah, it's an OBJ, but right, yeah, in an OBJ you can't store separate objects like an FBX, but yeah, it's one object, but I guess you can't really say if is this one mesh for you, or is the whole thing one mesh if it is one in one object. That's why I'm not sure how to explain it. It came like this, and I can separate things that are not connected, but that is not always that easy. For example, here with the no, actually it's pretty good here. Well, sometimes you want like just the top wing, and then you get all this stuff with it. Sometimes it's grouped annoyingly. Actually, it's not too bad on this ship. you work with OBJ files for exporting and such? Submeshes, yeah, that's probably the right terminology. What do you mean, do you work with OBJ files for exporting and such? I don't always use OBJs. I try to avoid them where I can, but sometimes you just get it in OBJ format. Daniel B, there's a picture with landing gear. Captain Foxy Loxy just posted some pictures of it. Where did he post them? Looks like an arrow from this angle. A bit. But that's only because of this very particular angle. You don't see how fat it is. Is GITF already a thing? What is GITF? Is that a format? Okay. That is not a thing I have. USD instead. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, USD. I know USD. USD is obviously the shining star everyone want to be the new 3D format. But so far I had mostly problems with it at work. So I have used that sometimes, but I'm not super happy with it just now. So I mostly save my stuff in Blender files, and if I have to export it to my other software, I use FBX or DAE usually, or ABC. I use a lot of ABCs, but I don't do 3D Blender stuff for work, so I'm not the best person to talk about file formats. I can talk to you about file formats for images. That's more my thing. But USD is still in development and still not fully, completely functional. But it has some great potential. I'm happy to finally get rid of FBX. It's much more efficient, for sure. I think it has the VTOLs in the back because there's no good place to put the large maneuvering thrusters in the back. Also to just fit the rest of the range, right? It's kind of a staple for them to have these big VTOLs. But I was I just noticed that it has less VTOLs than the Valkyrie. They both have these massive... Oh no, it doesn't. That's intakes, so... These are new... Okay, that's what you're saying. This has VTOLs, like... Not VTOLs, it has downward facing thrusters instead of the front VTOLs. I think it makes it look a lot more sleek. I think the front VTOLs make it look kinda less aerodynamic and also less tanky. Even though it is super tanky, but I mean they look kind of fragile and easy to shoot off, even if they aren't. But this definitely looks like it could deflect more bullets. But I agree, it is weird to think that these VTOLs and then this VTOL thing would balance out. I mean, this looks very balanced when it comes to the VTOL thrust, but this feels kinda imbalanced. I still think it works. There are worse offenders when it comes to believability. Is there a window on the bottom front? That's kind of interesting, that question. I talked about that at some point. From the outside, definitely not. You can see that this is steel. I mean, could be because I textured it wrong, but you can see that this goes so far. Oh no, you know what? This is also glass. This is supposed to be glass. I made a mistake there. I think you can see this shape here from the in one of the concept images. I think this is supposed to be glass and I made a mistake. That looks much better. Okay, yeah. And this is the blast shield here, right? This could maybe move up a bit. Oh, you can basically see it. Oh, only that far. That feels a bit... I mean, it still helps, but... Good point. That could be a second blast shield. Yeah, because on one of the on the interior image with the 4 pilots, you can see this view pretty much, and you can look through that. So definitely glass. Thank you for that. Also looks much better. Should have done that earlier. Because I said earlier that from the inside you could see the outlines, like the struts. Yep, was just my mistake. Okay guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I said that earlier, but I think we looked at everything this thing has to show, and I'm tired. Streaming is a lot more, takes a lot more focus and energy than I thought, but it was also a lot of fun. So thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for all the great input. Like half of the things that I did here was your suggestions, and that really helped get all of this working. And I also think it was super fun to have this up so early. So I don't think I will stream regularly, that's not really my plan, but this was super fun, and I'll probably do it again when there's the next big concept chip and I can try to get it out as early as possible. This time it took me 40 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes to have this scene up. Next time I try to be even faster. As usual, I want to use the opportunity at the end to thank my lovely patrons and channel members. Not all of them, I got some new in the last few days. They will get their golden plaques as well. Actually, I got my first space whale on the 3rd tier, so I have to design an even shinier plague. But yeah, thank you very much for supporting this, because obviously the kind of videos I do are terrible for YouTube algorithm thingies, and so these people help me get a reason to put so much time in it. Cool, Jin, you're here. There's yours. I don't know if anyone else is in stream, but you are here. Here's your high resolution close-up. These are also in the scenes. These people get the interior scenes of the galaxy that I built. I talked about that. You probably know about that by now. You can walk around that stuff in your web browser, and I'm probably going to add this scene too. So, yeah. Do it with the Arastra. Arastra is something that I want to do, but first on my list again is the Ironclad. And I think that's it for today. Thank you very much. Appreciate all the comments, all the input, and that was a lot of fun. Okay. See you next time. Goodbye.